Hey, welcome everyone. We got Rex back from Rockspear Trading. We usually do this show for Story Trading VIPs once a week as an exclusive show for them. We're doing a free preview out. It's out on social media here. And if you don't know Rex, he set up a new Discord. You can join his Discord at storytrading.com/Rex. We'll put that link up in a bit. And actually, I'm put that now. Here we go. So, Rex, are you there?
Yep.
Great.
Good afternoon, Ben. Yep.
Good afternoon. So what we try to do here is get your technical analysis. I know we're going to cover the overall macro first, but we like to collaborate with ideas from story trading. So stocks that we feel have a catalyst that's changing the fundamentals, a catalyst that's changing the sentiment to be able to predict price action before it happens, right? A little different than a technical trader. And then we like to collaborate with Rex, the technical trader, to pair those two disciplines to help us come up with a better idea of where stock can go once those catalysts do hit. So we will talk about some story trading stocks in a bit. You can see like AUGX, KODK, APRN. We'll talk about Palantir. Actually, let me remove this, though, and we're going to start with you, Rex.
Right.
Talk about when you're ready. Let's talk about the QQQ.
Sure. Yep. So we had the Fed. It's over. So we can see. I have a setup here. Okay. Let's look at the daily setup. We can see. Look at this. Okay. I've been posting these charts on StockTwits and on the Discord as well. You can see that we have been going up this channel. We are, making a parabolic curve turn here, and a lot of people are in the mindset that the moves are coming to an end, which could make sense because we are hitting that line, the upper line. You can see in this chart actually that we are okay. Don't mind those confusing lines. Let me take all that off. Okay, you can see that we are somewhere near the top of the second line, this resistance line right there, that line right there. And it makes sense for people to think that this move is probably coming to an end, that we might be falling down. But I'm going to show you a 3-month quarterly chart and to show you what's actually happening here. So we'll remove these lines for now, and I will just show you what's going on. Okay, if we look at this, this is a major resistance on a 3-month chart. We broke that, and if you look at the 6-month chart, we also broke that tail resistance on a 6-month chart as well. So on 2 different time frames, long-term time frames, we are breaking some serious resistance here. Now
Hmm.
this kind of breakouts, they don't normally come back down immediately. These breakouts can go on first for a while. I mean, the real resistance is right here on the Q. If you look at the 6-month chart, the real resistance is at the 350s. Now, I I'm not saying that we are going to go to the 350s today or even next week, but we can come back. We can consolidate, but I don't think we are going to consolidate much because there are too many shorts in the market, and as it goes down, they're going to pile in, and what's going to happen is, the market makers and the hedge funds are going to push them back up, because this breakout, from experience, this is a major breakout. If you look at this chart, you can say that this is an inverted hammer, and we are breaking out an inverted hammer, which means that this can go up to the 350s. And if you look at the monthly chart, the curve is going on. Let me draw a curve for you. So we got a curve here,
Hmm.
and if you look at it, we have been look at all these points. It's bouncing off the
Yeah.
curve. You can see, right? Like, you can see
Hmm.
even here on the way down, it kept bouncing up and then down and then up and then down, but it stayed within this is a
Hmm.
very important analysis. uh,
Hmm.
According to the Fibonacci, we are even breaking out this tail on the monthly chart. So we are breaking tail resistances, which is a big thing for a technical trader like me, because this kind of breakouts is where I usually go long, uh, which is what happened here. You see this breakout right at this tail. That's what took this up here. So we are breaking out this tail now. We're going to keep breaking tails.
Hmm.
So and we also broke a long-term shoulder resistance right here. This resistance is at 338.19. I think we broke that yesterday at 338.21. You can see that 338.21. So these little minute breakouts, these little informations that so this is the 334s that we broke out yesterday, and it's good. I mean, we can keep going on, which means we might come down a bit here. We might even stay low for the rest of this month. There are 2 weeks in the month, and then the next month we are going to probably bounce up that line again, probably somewhere around the 330s. 333, 334. We might
Hmm.
swing up and down, and then we are going to go back up again. That's what I think, until we hit this major resistance here, and that's where I might get a bit more defensive
Hmm.
on long positions, might even go short, or might be more aggressive on the shorts, and see what's the Fed catalyst at that time, see how it works out.
Hmm.
So this is for the Q. Yep.
Yeah, you
You
know
want
what?
to
This wasn't on our schedule, but do you happen to also chart RK at all?
I'm
AR,
sorry.
do you happen to ARKK?
Oh, arc. Yeah, sure. We can do
Okay.
some arc here.
So sorry
Okay,
to
I got it.
surprise you
I
with
got
that.
a long-term arc set up already, because I've been,
Yeah.
I mean, I think I played this. So this is my long-term setup, and okay, I'm going to remove this line right here. I'll add them later. You can see that this is the long-term trend. We correct the trend right there. At let me just draw the
And
circle.
while you do that, the reason I bring up RK because I find that it's a really, really good proxy for risk assets. So not just the Kathy Wood stocks, but any kind of micro cap or company that's not making money yet. It tends to follow this chart. What I noticed, so it's important, I think, to look at the analysis here.
Right.
If you're in those kind of stocks.
Great. Great. That's great information. Yep. Okay. So here we have a crack at the circle, and this is a monthly chart. So we've been going down pretty much the whole year, ever since we tested that crack. We cracked here, and then we tested that crack at the 53s, and we hit, we went down almost $30 or $20, $25. So you see this Fibonacci at 44. This is the all-time Fibonacci. This is the all-time 78.6% level. We need to claim this level in order to spark a rally, but you can see that we've been rejected twice. Once here in September and once again in February of this year. So, you know, okay, this is what I think. We are forming a inverse shoulder at the 34s. You can say at the low 30s, 33s, 34s, give and take at 1 or 2 points, maybe 32 even. So we might dip, we might not. It's a green month. We might just keep going up again. So what I think is going to happen is we are going to try and take out these two double tops from September of last year and February of this year, which is at the 40s. Wait, sorry, I'm sorry. Uh, no, at 45. So which means we can actually run up till the 45s, and if we take these two tops out, we can even run up further. But I'm not sure if we're going to go and test that yellow line again. I'm not sure if we can do that. uh, but if we can break that 44s on volume or 45s on volume, we might.
So
you know
let me ask you something. I hear what
sure.
you're saying, but visually, like QQQ was very clear. That was a cup that was
Yes,
forming.
right.
This, to me, I mean, do you have a bias either way? You're talking about what happens if it goes to the upside, but given the pattern of this chart, do you have a
It's long
bias
term
whether
bearish. I
long-term
mean, that's what I.
bearish?
It's long term bearish in
So
my
is
opinion.
that different than QQQ in your opinion? You're seeing a divergence here between RK and QQQ?
I mean, I think even QQQ is long term bearish too, just
Okay.
that it has not found its top yet. I mean, look
Okay.
at this. Look at this structure. This is a major. I'm just going to draw. Okay, let me just shift that circle here. See, that is one big head, and that's one big head. Let's move it down. Okay, that's one big
Hmm.
head in that circle, right? Now, this is a long term head. I mean, this stock has been going up since what, 2014. That's and all that came back down within a couple years or less than that, I think. So it's going to this is probably headed downwards to that support level, probably in the 20s over time. But as for now, since we are negotiating long-term supports, we can swing around this area. I mean, as a technical trader, I'll say that breaking that 78.6 level does not guarantee a wee rally back to all-time highs. No, I don't think so.
Hmm.
uh, if you look at the shoulder resistances, they are okay. Let me draw a horizontal line. You see, now that's the shoulder resistance, right? You can see all that shoulder projections from the past and even recently, I mean, this year, next last year. We can try and hit that and the 49s to.
But has anything triggered? Because for QQQ, I saw it
Right.
with your chart, and it was also clear on my own chart that QQQ has broken key resistance levels. Do we see the same pattern? Has Arcade broken any key resistance levels to the
No.
upside? Like it hasn't, right?
Nope. You see,
Right.
there are a lot of charts that are going down from where they are standing. You
Hmm.
see, it's the big techs like Apple
Right.
and Nvidia and a lot of the stocks and Netflix, even Google, Amazon. These are the stocks that can
Right.
keep going up. But these are the. I don't know if it's right to call them meme stocks, but I knew that there was a lot of retail interest in this
Hmm.
during the pandemic. So, you know, there are a lot of stocks like Disney. I can just show you an example from Disney. If you look at Disney, see, even Disney, I mean, okay, maybe not Disney, but okay, I have okay, this is Disney is an old company though. So I'm going to remove all the drawings right now just because it's too confusing. Let me remove all that. All right. And okay, you can see a hit pattern right there. I've been bearish on Disney since the 150s, since last year. So if I'm going to go back to a 6 month chart, you can see, that top formation. And this does not tell me that this has been running since what,
Yeah.
1970s. That's another animal right there. And you see that all that. Okay, the last time it came down, yes, it went up. That was we were still in a bullish period. But you see, there are some stocks that may not see all-time highs, and I think Disney is one of them. Okay, now look
Mm.
at this. This is an interesting point. You see that 6 month. You see that two double inverted hammers. Now, this is a pin bar pattern, and Normally when this happens, what happens is the next candle will go red. So this is a 6 month chart. So this 6 month chart ends in June, which means technically if it stays price stays at this level for the rest of the summer till June, and if it doesn't bounce up, it can drop. I mean, I don't know how far it can drop. Maybe, I'm not sure. You see, we are close to breaking that long term support. Now that's another tail resistance. If I were to invert this chart, all right, I invert the scale. Now this is an upside down chart. Now if you look at this chart, okay, this is an upside down chart. This we can do some upside down analysis.
Cool.
Now if you look at this, um, we have a tail resistance here, like what I said. When you break that tail resistance, you will keep going up. But you see, this is an upside down chart.
Hmm.
So if I re-invert the chart,
Cool
see, that's
chart.
that's
Okay.
what's probably going to happen. We're going to crack that support and then fall. But I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon. We might stay here for till the end of this year. We might even
Hmm.
retest that line. You can see there's already two lower highs on that 6 month chart. We might go back up again to form another lower high.
So
I'm not sure. I'm just showing you an example.
yeah. So I'm hearing overall longer term a lot of bearishness from you, even on QQQ. It's just basically these big cap tech stocks that still short term
Right.
you think
That's
have a
supporting the
ways to go.
yes.
So
That's
speaking of
right.
big cap tech, I know you want to talk about Nvidia. That's a stock in story trading we've been on top of as
Right.
well with
Great.
the AI trade. So let us know what you think of Nvidia, and then we'll get into some of these other stocks as well.
Sure. Right. Okay. We'll do one last big analysis. Right. We'll do. Okay. So see, this is something that should spark everyone's. I wouldn't be shorting. Look at this. I was long at 310. It's already at 314 now. I
Yeah.
Before I started this show, before I came on this show, I told my subscribers, watch that 313 is going to break out. Now I'm going to show you that spot, that spot where I
Oh
actually.
wow.
Um, I mean, okay, let's look at this 6 month chart again. Let's look at this. Okay, you see we are okay, we broke a trend a long time ago, and it has been going up. Evan, you saw that? Now that's the breakout. I think I spoke about this last time. So we have been going up since the 260s, 250s, which I was bullish on this since 180 actually. So let's look at the 30-minute chart. I'm going to okay, yeah, let's get it. Let's get this part. Okay, so this. Oh, all right. Okay. Okay. You see that tail? You see? Look at it. It's going, this is going to go green today, or maybe even or maybe next week. It's a Friday today. So this is where I bought. Um, I actually erased those lines to show you where the support was, where the supports were. Let me just draw those lines again. Okay. Got to turn on the magnets on. Okay. Sorry, no, that's not the support line. Always draw your supports from the lowest, and then the next pivot we place it here. Now see, look at that. You see that? That's a perfect bounce off, a little above the trend line. So I told them, I told my so I did a Fibonacci analysis, and I drew my lines, and I so I was telling my subscribers, like, okay, watch that 61.8% level, which is at the 310s. And that's where I bought. And that was, I think, a few minutes before the Feds came on, and
Mhm.
I was not even paying attention to that. I just paid attention to these pivots, and I got in at the right entry. It swung up and down a bit, and I just told them on the 15-minute chart. I was telling them, okay, look at that. You see that resist. I was just talking about it, right? You see that tail resistance. I was just telling them, watch that tail. It's going to break out, and price is going to surge. Now this is how we play 0 day trades, zero DTs.
Ooh,
And
you're doing zero DT call options on this.
no, I mean,
Fun.
yeah. I mean, you see, if you know your pivots, you're confident. You can take this trade. You break a shoulder. You see, okay. Let me just take this thing out so it doesn't confuse you. You can see. Look at that. That's one tail. That's two tails. That's three tails. And those three tails make up a head and shoulders pattern. So, in in technical speak, we broke out a head and shoulders pattern, and that is to be construed as very bullish for the day of, depending on what you're looking at, a 15-minute chart. So it's bullish on the 15-minute frame. And if you're looking at the daily chart, um Okay, okay, here this is now this is something funny. Okay, this is something interesting. This little pair right there is the bearish harami pattern, right?
Mhm.
Now if price stays red, if this candle stays red for the day, we have a bearish harami. What it means is that next week we can fall.
Mhm.
We can, you see, if you see, then look at this. This is a daily chart. Now the next day starts here right now. If we open below that line, if price opens, look at the cursor, focus on the cursor. If we open below that line somewhere, even in 313s, even the high 330, we can drop at open. So this is something to be, that's why I'm saying, take profits at these levels, buy low, sell high. Don't hold too much because we need to consolidate. We have gone up. We have been, we it's not bearish yet. If I were to draw a different line, look at that. Now this is more important than that line earlier that I drew. See, this line shows a breakout of a trend, and we can come back down. We can come back down to test that line again. I'm saying somewhere around the 300s, but we broke a. If you look at the 3-month chart, we broke a hangman. Now, as I had explained to you before we started the show, now that hangman breakout is bullish indefinitely, at least for a while. So we can come back down to test that breakout level, which is at 305s to 307s, as low as even the low 300s. We can come back down, but what's going to happen is probably going to go back up again because we are so close to all-time highs. uh if you ask me, I say might as well just break that before coming
Yeah,
back down.
I
This
hear
is
you. I hear
a
that.
this happens even on 30-minute charts. You can see that. If you I can show you an example on an Apple chart. We'll make it really quick. Yeah, let's look at the daily charts on Apple. The daily charts, okay, right there. Let me turn off all that. Okay, so okay, if you look at the oh, no, no, not the daily charts. Maybe the weekly charts. Maybe will be a better. Okay, okay. If you look at the okay, yeah, yeah, okay. If you look at the weekly charts, you can see that. You see, look at that. See, price breaks out first, and then there's usually a breakout. Look at that. That's a breakout, and then the downtrend starts. That's a breakout, and then the downtrend starts. We always have a breakout and before the downtrend. So here, we have not gotten a blown off candle yet. We are so close to breaking out the highs. Look
Yeah,
at
I
Apple.
agree.
I actually, see what happened is the app. Okay, since we are already here, let me just get over this really quick. See, we are breaking another tail here, Ben. Look at that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Saw that. So this can hit all-time highs since it's Apple is the king. So yeah, shall we go to the next one?
Let's go to Palantir. Palantir, PLTR. This is actually a stock that is a perfect representation of what we do at Story Trading. When we talk about
Nice.
story trading stocks, we're looking at fundamentals, catalysts, sentiment, and technicals, and they were all check, 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 because they flipped to profitability for 2 quarters in a row. Fundamentals check. Sentiment really good because they talked about AI and saying they have unprecedented demand for their new AI products. Sentiment check. And catalyst obviously is that this just happened recently, the earnings call, that's what's sparking this move. And the technicals also look good to me. I don't do Fibonacci's, but give us your technical analysis. This we're looking for a 1030 break yesterday. We got it with an 1160 target. We got that. Now we're above 1160. So that's where you come in, Rex. Where do we go next?
Right. Okay. If you look at this all-time chart, we broke that trend yesterday. I actually showed you uh, on my Discord, right? I was telling you that it's breaking out a trend, and it's breaking out all these resistances from the past. It broke. Okay, what's more important is it broke out the IPO era high, which is at what 1142. Oh, that's something that's something very important, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, from experience, from a technical perspective, when you break out the IPO month high, the stock is that becomes your support for a while. So the 1140s to 1150s is probably a support. And I already have this analysis. I've been tracking this. I actually went short. I think somewhere in the 30s. That was last year, and I didn't short it all the way though. I just for that period. But anyways, now we are breaking out a long-term trend, and you see that breakout was at 11, but that breakout is not more is this breakout is more important right now. I think the 1140s, the 1130s to 1140s.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can like what I said, this is the all-time Fibonacci. We have the 78.6 level at 14s, and I told you that we can actually hit the 13s. We can, in order to be really bullish, and it might happen because it's still what? It's still, we are still in the middle of this year. And if you look at the 6-month chart, let's look at the quarterly chart. You see, we already broke another resistance here, Ben. Saw that? Now we are
Mhm.
breaking out long-term shoulders. So you see, okay, let's say we run up to the 14s, and we might, if we don't even run up to the 14s, we run up to the 13s, and we keep holding this price, we come back down, swing up and here, up and down within this range. Maybe when July starts, the next 6-month candle can go green as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we can claim back the 14s in July, maybe, and break that resistance, then I can say that we might try for the 20s. I don't know what's the. I mean, I leave that to you because you are the fundamentals guy. You know, you help me with that. So if the fundamentals fit, we can break that 14s on volume. We can, test the 20s. But if you ask me, are we going to break the 20s and keep going up? I'm not sure about that
Yeah,
yet.
and I'm not ready to tell you that either. Right now, what we're seeing is an inflection point in profitability. So that just told
Right.
me that we're ready to break to the upside because the company's inflecting not only to profitability but sustained profitability. But I don't have good outlook into visibility. I don't have good visibility into the
Right.
magnitude of the
Mm-hmm.
profitability yet to be able to
Yep.
justify those kind of prices, but it's something I'll have to do a little more homework on. Maybe we have to see another quarter or two of earnings out of them to be able to predict that.
Right, exactly. As for now, I think the 14s is a good place. I wouldn't say go short at 14s. I'd say that that's a resistance. There's probably where a lot of selling will be going on, and I can say that we'll be swinging between 14s. We see we broke a crucial tens level, so it's not going to lose the tens anytime soon. It's a major psychological level, as I've said in the previous videos. We break the tens. We're going to hold the tens,
Yep.
and now we're breaking the shoulders. We're going to hold that as well. Probably this is going to test that 9 EMA ribbon. You see that blue ribbon? We're probably going to test that at the 13s. That's where the 13s are.
All right,
So,
let's move on.
yep,
We're a little bit late. Are you okay if we stay a few more minutes to get these last
I'm
few
okay.
in?
I'm okay. I'm
All
okay.
right, let's go to
You're okay here.
Kodak. Let's go to Kodak next. So
Kodak.
Kodak is another story trading
Oh, wait.
favorite. I have to tell you, with Kodak, they had
Yep.
this earnings report, and pull up the chart. You'll see this big move that came like starting May 11th or so. Um,
Right.
so that's because the earnings had a major flip to profitability. So this is another one where we had multiple pillars checked off. And it was a massive flip to profitability. I'm telling you, Rex. I
Nice.
mean,
Nice.
the best profitability in many, many, many years. Um, and that's something we're talking about, cash flow profitability. And that's something
Wow.
that's very, very important in this market. So we had predicted this big move to break the 50 DMA, make the move to the 200 DMA. That was easy for us, right? Now we
Okay.
broke
Great.
the 200 DMA. All right, we're near the 50 DMA at $4.40. So now the
Right.
question is, I can tell you from a fundamental perspective, I think this stock is still very cheap. I think the stock can still go up a few more dollars from a fundamental perspective, but we moved big already. We're at a resistance level here. So this is where you take over, Rex.
Okay. Yeah. Sure, Ben. Okay. This has been my favorite, and I played that supernova move. I think back in 2020, was it, from the 16s, or was it the 13s? I forgot. These are my one of my memorable stocks. Okay,
Mhm.
from that daily chart. Let's go to the daily chart.
I was back in the COVID days when
Yeah.
they were supposed to get some money from the government to do pharmaceuticals, and then they didn't get the grant in the end.
Oh, okay. All right, Ben. Looking at
Uh,
this daily chart, we are actually breaking out some major resistance there, major long term resistance. Um, let's snap this up to that. Uh, okay, I'm sorry. Just sometimes.
no problem.
Yeah. Okay. Let's snap those magnets. Yeah. All right. Okay. So here we are. Let's see. We are breaking out that major resistance. Now I'm going to place it to the high of that trend. Okay, that's right there. So you can see a breakout here, and we have also broken out the the cup. That's a cup. This
Mhm.
is the cup, and we did a breakout of the cup at 420s, which I actually mentioned to you in the chat. If we can break that 420s, we can keep rallying. I think you called the 440s, so the credit goes to you. Actually, you called it back. I think at 4 or 380s. Okay, so
380s. Yeah, we're right
right,
after earnings, to be honest with you.
right,
That
right.
was,
So that's great. This is great. This has been going up, and this, if you look at that chart, and this can go on for a while. You see, what is happening here is I'm going to draw a line so that you get a clearer picture of the long term shoulder support resistances. Oh, sorry, the supports. The support lines right there. Okay, so okay, that's the inverse supports around the 370s, 380s, right where you actually call them. So you got it right. So we have been going up. Now, how far can this go? Can this trigger a supernova? I don't know about that. This some kind of like SMSI, because
no,
it
I don't know
had
if
it.
I want to hear that. Okay, yeah,
Nah,
go ahead.
no, 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 no. You see, SMSI had its big move, like back in 2020. I'm
No.
sorry, back in 2000. I'm sorry. That's when we ran up till the 190s, 170s. So see, it's the same thing. When a stock already had its supernova move, unless it's a dead stock like a stock in a dead spiral, that's going down. You see, these are the stocks that will come up with supernova moves on the way down, after dilutions, after reverse splits.
Mhm.
But this is a strong stock. You know, it's probably long term bullish, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't say that. It's going to break out that all time highs again at 50s or 60s. Was it? I think it was 60s, right? Yeah,
Nah,
almost.
don't need that. Just 6, 7. That next yellow line. That's what I'm
the
looking for. When do we
the
get to that
next the
next?
yellow
When do
line.
we get?
Okay,
When do we
yeah,
get there?
even the next yellow line is going to be tough. Now I'm going to draw you a
Yeah.
median line, as
Okay.
I did last time with I think Shopify. So that's the median line. You see, you can see that's the median line. I can bring it down a little bit, kind of try to place it in the middle of that bit, in between these two lines, these two yellow lines, trying to
Yeah,
place,
that's
so we
fair.
can
That's
hit
fair.
that.
Yeah.
That's around the fours, fives. See, when a penny stock breaks out the fours and holds the fours, this is a unspoken observation that I always come up with. If a penny stock breaks the fours and holds the fours,
Mhm.
we can try and hit the sevens and eights. You would have seen this with a lot of stocks just recently. Now I'm going to draw you another line. You see, I just saw this, but I'm hoping. Okay, you see, now this is what you're interested in. You see that now. Let's focus on the blue line now. Okay, you see that is the inverse shoulder supports, and that little U below that line, that's the inverse hit. So this is an angular inverse head and shoulders pattern. Is normally inverse head and shoulders pattern. They will be You're looking at a on a horizontal plane. This is on a angular plane. So that right there is one support. That's another support, and this is the head. So we can try and go for the. Let me draw a another parallel line. So we can try and go for that. What is that? Fives. Yeah. See, you know this has been swinging. I think the last time we did go to this was the fives. All that moves right there, all that big V moves, is just between threes and sevens. We already hit the sevens previously, so we went from the threes to sevens, and so this time we might go to the fives, and I think that's pretty good. Because the traders are going to be trading this in hundreds of thousands of shares. I'm talking about the market makers and hedge funds, and they'll be cashing out hundreds of thousands of shares at these resistances, which is going to turn the stock back down. Now, what this tells me is that even if we come back down again and hit that lower blue line, which is at the fours, anywhere up, anywhere up, we might keep bouncing back until. So it's only bearish if we crack the lower blue line. So until then, we might bounce up and down within those lines. And if you manage to break that middle yellow line, that median line, and then you might actually trend up. Or if you break the upper yellow blue line, like if let me just draw an arrow to show you. Let's do this. Right, let's say if you go up and you consolidate back, and then you might go up. Now that is uh, I don't know what's going to cause that to happen. I'm not sure of the fundamentals of this. I need your help in this. Um, so as
Fundamentals are good.
good, okay.
They're
So we
good.
need to break out the fives. Okay, let's see. We are holding the fours, which is a good sign. So we might go for the fives now. And see, you must also look at the market. If the market starts to consolidate big, and then this can come back down to test this yellow line, that this yellow line right there. So it can come back down to test the threes again. This is what has been doing. It's been going up and coming down. It doesn't come down fast or goes up fast. It just inches up and inches down. So that's something you want to consider.
All right.
Um,
Uh,
yep,
let's that's a
that's
good
for
one. Let's
this.
move on. Let's move on to AUGX while you get
All
your
right.
chart ready on AUGX. So actually, Kodak and AUGX were our two picks of the week. So every Monday night on the Wolf Financial Spaces show, we pick two stocks for the week, and those two stocks are Kodak and AUGX. And as you can see, I'm on a panel of a lot of great traders. We're crushing it. Like 29% up on AUGX, 16% up on Kodak. You can see what the competition looks like. And again, from a story trading perspective, you can see the notes there. Just like Kodak, AUGX had multiple pillars going for it. In this case, they got the fundamentals of something like $14 million or so investment from HCA, like a 90 billion dollar healthcare company. And that cash is enough to get them to profitability. That's your fundamentals. The sentiment is that this is an AI healthcare stock. It's AI. And HCA is funding an AI product to automatically create doctor's notes, a doctor's chart in a hospital setting, in the ER setting. It's very fascinating technology. You got to look at it. So we got the sentiment, we got the fundamentals. Also, the earnings reports have been very good and they're growing. So everything looks good, and the stock's been breaking out. So we picked this. It's done well, and when it breaks out this much, that's when I turn to Rexman from Rockstar Trading to let us know how far can this go.
Okay, Ben. Again, you see, I okay. We broke out a long term trend, and we have been going up. Now let's look at this white line. I just explained the same concept on Kodak. You see that? Okay, that's a long term inverse shoulders. That's another shoulder support, and that right there, that little U right there is the hit inverse hit. So we have been holding that white line. So I think you did well by buying that dip back at the threes, low threes.
Yeah, I got it. That's
And
right.
you see, this okay. This is actually a setup that I'm going to be teaching in my Discord. All these setups I'll be teaching. I call this the big drop setup. Now a
Oh,
big drop. Now the big drop. I didn't notice this. I didn't see that line that day. If not, I would have bought these dips with you as well. Now this big drop, that is a big. It happens in penny stocks. So when the stocks drop that big, and they start inching up, it's you see, when they claim, especially when you claim back that 9 EMA ribbon, price is going to go up now. And normally what happens is it'll break that resistance. I've seen this in, I think, several dozens of stocks, um, where the price drops big and then it just goes up and it tries to break out. Once that happens, price can keep going on. Now look at this. We have been bouncing off the 78.6, which is at the 290s. I think I mentioned this the last time. And right now we are close to the 61.8% resistance, which is the 450s. And I think I mentioned this before. If we can break the fours, we might hit the 450s. Now that is where the real resistance is, for now. So if we can break that 450s, I'm not going to look at the long-term resistances. If you look at the long-term resistance, you can see that 450s is actually a long-term resistance. No, actually we are above the resistance. Now the resistance has turned supports. The resistance is at 390s and low fours. If you look at this, focus on this part of the chart. Now, these were multiple bottoms that we cracked, and price has been going down. Right? You can see. Now we are claiming back that long-term resistance. Now it becomes support. So this might be able to keep trending up. I don't know. It might trend to that long-term resistance, which is at the sixes. But I do not know if it's going to come in a day or in a week or even in a
yeah.
month. This is. But if it breaks out that 430s, 440s, 450s.
Perhaps an easier thing to say here on a stock like this, I think you can
Right.
confidently buy the dip if it has like another red candle like that towards that white trend line. This is something, right?
We are already breaking out the resistance now. So
Yeah,
it might not even dip.
it might not even dip.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. Let me look at the 30-minute chart. Okay, look at this 30-minute chart. We are see that resistance. Remember when I told you the other day? If we break that, it's indefinitely bullish. So we are breaking all that.
Hmm.
And okay, I'm going to draw you a line now.
An
Something,
AI
something.
stock, you never know.
Yeah, right. That's right. Now I'm going to draw you this line. Okay, now look at this is. I normally don't reveal all this, but okay, look at that. Okay, I just draw a new line for you, and you see how we are holding that breakout.
Hmm.
So anywhere in that 420s, maybe even here, maybe we might even run tomorrow. Look, let me draw you another line. Um, okay, that and that. All right. Okay, if we can break out that slope, we might run up again. We might hit the 440s tomorrow, but uh we might come back down to test this line again. It's only bearish if it goes below the 420s band, in my opinion. If we hold the 420s, we can keep running. This reminds me of air, AEHR,
Ooh,
like at the
my
fives,
favorite
right?
stock ever.
This is what happened. We were like swinging up and down between the fives and sixes. Remember, before we
Yeah,
broke the nines, and then we broke the tens, and then the 20s.
that was
But
fun.
I don't see that happening here because the biggest, all that resistances, this is all within a 4-point range.
Hmm.
So I do not know we're going to have a long term rise up till the sevens, but it's possible because we are breaking out a major uh, resistance that has now turned into supports at the fours. That's on the long term. And on the short term, on midterm, we are also breaking out some major resistances here. So this is about for AUGX. I'm not in this yet, and now as I told you before, I like breakouts, and I might get some of this. Yep.
All right, let's go to our final stock, Apron, which is breaking my heart today because I do have a nicely sized
Really?
position. It's down 15%.
Oh no.
I've been looking for a big breakout
Ah,
in this, but I'm not so thrilled about this move today.
okay, Ben. As I told you, I think in Discord, it's not because of the fundamentals, or this is a sub-dollar stock, man.
Hmm.
I learned it from Fuel Cell. F Cell. I
Yeah.
think I was on StockTwits. I called it at 50 cents. It ran to 70, 80 cents, $1, and then during the pandemic, it actually went up to 40 or $50. But
Ooh.
yeah, yeah. So this is one of those stocks. It reminds me of that. I'm not saying this is going to 40 or $50. I mean, if you look at the all-time chart, uh, wait, let me see. Where is this? Where was the all-time highs? Oh, wait. Well, okay. Okay. This is not that bad. 153. It's still kind of bad. It's at 50 cents now. So see, this is what is happening. This is the reason. Now, if the all-time highs was probably at $5 or $6 and you're at 50 cents, then it's a different story. But anyways, uh, okay. So let's look at the 30-minute chart. All right. Okay. Here. Okay, we you know what? As we speak, we might be hitting supports again.
Hmm.
Now, see, this is what happened. This is an M pattern. I'm going to draw
I
you a
see
path
it.
where
Yeah, very clear
you
M. I
can
see
see
that.
that M, right? Let me just draw. So
Yeah.
I'll show you where the M breaks, or the way it cracks actually. Okay, here, right there. So this line right there, see that? You see the neckline? Now
Hmm.
that's where the M cracked, and you can see that price actually came back up to retest, and then just went down. Just dropped like a rock. So this is what's happening. We are hitting that long-term trend breakout. I don't know. Is this a good spot to buy? I'm not sure, Ben, because you can see that the previous times we actually broke out that line and we ducked below the line before breaking out again. Now this is exactly what happens with a sub-dollar stock. You don't get a. It's not like AUGX. You're holding above the fours or fives or the most stronger psychological levels. Now, this is very typical of a sub-dollar stock. We usually come back several times to retest the lows. You see, okay, look at that. Now that spot right there is a Fibonacci support level at 56, 5647. So we might bounce from that level. I'm not recommending to buy, no, to all those listeners, but I'm just saying that when you crack an M, you will crack first, but it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. Normally will bounce back up from previous supports. So as I said the other time, we need to break that resistance right there. That tail right there is at 70 cents. You should have sold. I mean, I caught it late. Um, okay, I'm going to draw you another line to show you what's actually going on here with this chart. We are actually knitting or threading a megaphone pattern. That's a megaphone right there. So we are now testing the 50% level. Can we go back down to the 61.8% at 50 low 52s? Yeah, possible. This kind of stocks, that's the kind of price action that goes with these stocks.
Mhm.
So each it's a little more than the news. If I draw this line here, okay, you can see now, right? You can see that we broke that channel right there, and we've been knitting, and then we came back to retest that channel line, and that's what's happening right now. We are coming back to retest that line again, probably at that five sixes. And if you get a rebound there, the next one might break that resistance. But I'm not sure. I just listen to you on the fundamentals, and from what you said,
So yeah,
uh
speaking of the fundamentals, they are in a non-binding letter of agreement. So they have a pending deal for a partnership where this company is going to buy 20% of their company at a valuation of between $1.75 and 3.50, depending on how you do the calculation. And that deal, they're trying to close it by June 6th or June 9th or earlier. There's a lot more details to that story. I have something up on YouTube on it, but in any case, that's where I get my kind of excitement of, hey, this can move over one in this period while we're waiting for the deal to close. Because if the deal does close, I think you're very quickly going to make a move to at least $1.75.
right, right.
But we
I
don't
mean, yeah.
know. But we don't know if the deal is going to close. It's a
Okay.
non-binding letter of intent. They're
Oh,
doing their
okay.
last due diligence. They have to get board approvals, and they're doing that very quickly because they want to close by June 9th.
Right. Okay. So, all right. So from this chart, looking at the chart, I have to follow up on that, on the news. But from what I see right now, we might be able to get another bounce, and we need to break that 60s now, the 63 64s. Now you see that circle right there is where what we broke out the other day. We
Mm-hmm,
should not have gone below that. We should
mm-hmm,
not have. But
mm-hmm.
I as I told you, we can pull back. It's the usual price action for this kind of stock. So if we actually get to move up again, I think we can hit the 80 cents. But this is a support. These two lines right there. Let me take out this line so that you know where the supports are. See that two blue lines? Now the upper blue line is the support level. So in my opinion, as long as you hold above that line, you are bullish. If you go below that, then you're bearish. But you see, we can see a full M move, and what I'm expecting now is probably a retest, at least a retest of the 60 cents level, and we need to break that, just like how AUGX did. And let's look at the daily chart. Is it a big drop setup? Yeah, it is a big drop setup. You know what I told you about. But you see, this big drop is not like the AUGX big drop. It's just uh, this is, I
That's
don't
an
know.
inside candle.
Yeah, but you must notice that why is this still bullish is because this candle made a lower high. Now,
Right.
if this candle had it broken out this, let's say it broke out the 70 cents and dipped back that low, then there might be no that would make it a cloud cover. A cloud cover, a dark cloud cover pattern is a bearish setup, a reversal pattern. But if you look at this, uh, I don't know. I think you need another day, to test. Maybe it goes down to the 54s. Actually, if you look, see, this is the thing with logarithmic charts. When you go on the daily frame, the setup changes. It's no more a parallel chart. It's no more a parallel channel. It's now a wedge. So these are little things that I will teach in my Discord. So here we are holding some long-term supports at the 57s, and if we get to bounce off this, we will still come back down, in my opinion. This is just, it's probably going to stay here for a while. But what I
But,
think is that
I
looking at
want
the
you
long
to,
term
yeah, go ahead.
yeah looking at the long term chart, think this is going to bounce. Okay, I mean, look at that. That's what I think. Okay, go
So
ahead. What do you want to
I
ask?
just okay, related to this last ticker, I just want you to compare this one to a stock called Lilum. And
Oh,
the reason I'm so kind of excited about APRN is because the set of facts, the fundamentals and the catalysts that turned Lilum around, this also was a sub penny, sub dollar stock, was very similar. If you can go to the breakout level, if you go to
okay,
breakout
Lilum.
level a few weeks ago, just go back. I want you to compare what happened after that initial spike, right? A few weeks ago. Does this a question for you? Is it does this look like Apron or does it look uh, somehow better than Apron? If you didn't know what it was going to do, if you were just looking at that time when it initially started spiking up, because the news is similar on Lilum as it is for AUGX.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so just looking at Lilum, just looking at this naked chart. Well, not so naked. We have a 9 EMA ribbon, and you can see that we are, been trading. We've been, just moving up that ribbon. So we might come back to retest. Let's look at that daily. That's an ugly looking uh
No. I'm
shooting.
saying, can you go back to when it broke out? Go back. Like
Like
right
how
when it was
far back?
like when it was 40 cents there. Just recently when it started breaking out
Oh,
there at
okay,
40 cents.
40
Yeah.
cents will be
Right
right
there.
there.
No,
No,
down,
lower.
no. Yeah. Just at the
Yeah.
breakout level.
Okay. Oh,
Keep
okay.
going. Go to the bottom of the chart. Go right to the bottom of that chart.
Let me
35,
see.
40 cents.
Right there. That's the breakout you're talking about, right?
Yeah, well,
At
right
50.
before the breakout, the candle before that, right? Are this
That
is
candle
this the
right
daily
there.
chart? Yeah. Is this the daily chart?
Let me go to the 30 minutes because I was looking at the 30 minutes
Oh, okay.
on that. Okay.
So this one had similar news back when it
Right.
started spiking. You see that spike?
You're
And then
right. Okay.
it consolidated a little bit.
For
It
so
consolidated a
long.
little bit, right?
Right.
And then it broke out. So the news is similar for Apron
At that
as it is
40
for
cents.
Lilum. Yeah, and it's around, roughly kind of in the same price range.
Right.
Is there any lessons we can learn looking at that Lilum? Is it similar to what we're seeing in Apron
Okay.
now?
Yeah. Kind of. You see. Okay. Look at that. You have that channel breakout. You have the trend breakout. That blue line. Let me just turn that into a white line. So okay. Great. Okay. Now you have that trend channel breakout, and at that, you see, price keep coming back down, but this is not too similar to that
Hmm.
what was that, what's that ticker?
Apron, APRN, yeah.
Apron. Yeah, it's not too similar to Apron, but it did consolidate, it go up, it went up. So you can see a clear cup, and then a breakout, and then a handle, and then another handle. Then the rest of it is just J hooks. The rest of it was just J hooks. So you have a J, and then another J, and another J. This is what we call J hooks.
Hmm.
J hooks and cups,
Hmm.
cup breakout. So this is a breakout chart. Uh, Maybe not so much right now. I mean, we might be coming back down, but see, from that level right there, if you want to compare this to Apron, uh, I'd say yes. But you see, when we broke this out, was it 42 cents, and then yeah, it just moved up. Now, okay, let's go back to Apron one more time.
Hmm.
Uh, all right, so okay, see that it's just the same thing, right? We are breaking out, and then we are going up, and now we have a cup. We broke out the cup, and then we should not have come back down, but I think this is because of the market. So you shouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be
Hmm.
surprised. The
Okay.
market has taken a parabolic turn the past few days. It is going up so much, so you cannot exactly compare this with
Got
uh
it.
the other one, because Lilum, because this has a different market structure going with it. Maybe for Lilum at that time the market was still bullish, so we had an immediate rise. But maybe for this, but as long as we are holding that white line breakout, we are still good. We can, different phases of the
No.
market, different phases of time. um like I said, if you focus on that blue line, which I drew earlier, look at the 54s level.
No.
um, the psychological level for penny stock is 50s, sorry. So just like the $10 breakout is crucial, so
Hmm.
is the 50 cents
No.
breakout. So
Okay.
look at all the
And also to be fair, I just want full
right.
disclosure out there, understanding that the fundamentals are a little different because this is the deal's not done yet. It's a non-binding letter of
Great.
intent, whereas with
Yep.
Lilum, it was a done deal. They got their money and they're
See,
good to
that's
go
the
with their
thing.
balance
Yeah.
sheet. That's the difference. All right. That's one
Right.
difference.
Right. That's probably
Okay.
the trigger there. Okay, Ben.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we're
Sure.
running late, so you
Right.
can join. Rexman has a great Discord going on at storytrading.com/Rex. We'll forward you to his Discord. And if you want to be part of this story
Great.
trading community, you can hop on over to storytrading.com/app and you can become part of our community. We have all kinds of video content every day. We interview CEOs. Love to have you as part of our community. We have a free trial there. Rex?
Right. Yes,
Thank you
Ben.
so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Yeah, we'll
All
see
right.
you again.
Take
Yep,
care, everyone.
sure.
Bye-bye.
Yep. Everyone. Bye. Yep.